Alright, shalom.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, brothers. Yahweh Hashem, Yahshai Hashem, Rakakash Brakatham. Double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. You know, Salakil, as always, all praises unto Yahweh Hashem, Yahshai Hashem, Rakakash. Always, can't forget that.
That's right.
Flow. You know, double honors, you know, to the apostles and the elders. Shalom to the hopeful elect brothers teaching, man.
That's right.
You know, so, yeah, man, we just together, brothers, on our journey back from the camp, you know, where we was up.
Yep.
And yeah, we just talking, bro, about the system, man. Money and finances and
Sign and crying.
Yeah, sign and crying, basically, and pretty much how messed up society is, man. You know, like basically we're just poor in this society, bro. Like as a people, you know. So that's kind of what we were talking about, man. We're like used to being like at the bottom all our lives, man.
We're not living.
We're not living, bro. This is not living, man. And you realize it. No amount of FRNs can change that too, man. And I would, you know, even you see a lot of our people that sell the hell out, the system catches to them at the end anyway. But the point is, we've just been poor all of our lives, man.
That's right, bro.
We don't know what living is. So
That's right.
I'm gonna start on Haggai, right?
Yeah, if I could just quickly say one thing though.
Yeah, get it, bro.
Like, you know, the scripture says, that's why the scripture says in Micah 2:10, what does it say? Arise ye and depart. You know, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it will destroy you even with a sore destruction, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we can't like we can't rest in this place, man.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? A precept to that is Hebrews 13:14. For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come.
Which is the kingdom.
That's right, bro, man.
This ain't our world, man. This ain't our world, man. You know, we're dead. We're dead, bro, right now. We're like, Revelation 20 says Esau was released for that little season. I remember it said that there was a period where he was shut up. So he had no say on the planet.
Yeah.
That's basically what we've been under.
Yeah.
We've been under a curse where we've been shut up by the Lord using Esau, to where we've just had no power on the earth for the past, 800 years.
Yeah.
This is our like time of being shut up as well, like, you know, but we're coming out of that now. But I'm gonna read this here. Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to be put in a bag with holes. That's going into this system, man. Basically, we built this system, and all that history is coming out on, you know, the slavery, the plantations, and all that history of Jake building up America, building up this whole world, bro. And what did we get for it? Nothing. Till this day. You know, like Esau likes to say they freed the slaves and whatnot. No, you emancipated the slaves from one form of slavery to another, to basically to what we have, basically what we have today. Emancipation, because they like to say Lincoln freed the slaves. No, you emancipated the slaves, and you brought them from the deep south to the east coast and the northern states to basically start working in factories. So you brought them from one form of labor to another. Well, no emancipation to what we have today. Now we're basically debt slaves and slaves to the computers, to the jobs. So we're the ones that built this place, and we sown so much of our blood, sweat and tears. Man, we've given our lives to this system, our people, man. Literally given our fucking backs to this place. And what the hell do we get for it? And that ain't gonna change till Yahushua comes, man.
That's right.
So it ain't no matter, there's nothing you can do in this society that can, the point is there's nothing you can do economically that will better our lives, man. We're always gonna be, basically we're poor in this place. We get by, but we're poor, man. It says it here, it says ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages, you go to these these jobs, man, and you're still broke. How the fuck do you go to work and you're still broke? You know, because the shit, the tax system, all of that is just all wicked, which is usury, by the way. Which, see, we can charge usury on the heathens. They can't do it to us. So it is wicked. What Esau's doing is wicked, because he puts us in debt. All of that shit, which goes into like the law of usury, which these Amalekites, because they are saying they're the chosen people, they can do that to us, right? That's what they're saying. But really, you're sinning doing that to us, man. We can do it to you, but they put us in this perpetual debt. That's why our wages are always in bags of holes, bro.
That's right. What the scripture says, they made no account of our labors. What's that?
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon,
I get it.
the 5th chapter.
Yeah.
You know, like the brothers going into, man, like.
Because that's what we were talking about. Man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, brother.
Yeah, no, you got it right.
like, this whole journey, right? All the fuck we were just talking about, what the fuck? Basically, we were just talking about like certain struggles.
That's right.
Economic struggles and problems and shit like that. Because, you know, that's what we kind of talk about. Things like that. Because, you know, England's kind of a fucked up system when it comes to economics and money. It's like Jake's out here are really fucked. Like in America, Jake is fucked in America. It's just a different wavelength, different things you see. Because England's creepy and oppressive, man.
Creepy, man.
Creepy,
Yeah.
oppressive. It's like Jake
Cold.
don't really have nothing here, really.
Yeah. It's really cold here.
Yeah.
Really cold. The people are cold.
Yeah.
The people are really cold. They're really miserable. You know what I'm saying? That this over here in the UK, this is where we're at, man. You know, and these people here, these creepy ass countrysides and these fucking, but the Rothschilds are over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can tell what kind of vibration that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these elites, man, these devils that have pretty much, you know, introduced debt slavery to the globe.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The ones responsible, they're from here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're literally like we're behind enemy lines.
Big time.
You know what I mean? And that's vibrational.
Yeah.
And Jake be feeling that, man. We be feeling it. That's why we're sighing and crying, man.
We
That's
sign and cry, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like
We sign and crying, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We want to get out. We want out. You got it. Okay.
Yeah. No, keep saying, speak, bro.
You know, we want to basically we want out,
I got
man.
wisdom of Solomon.
You know, you can't make your bed in Babylon and expect. Well, that's why the scripture says, "Don't hand join in hand.
Yeah.
The wicked shall not be unpunished." Now, in order for you to join hand with this man in this society, then you gotta sell out, man. And we ain't no sellouts, bro. Lord willing,
Lord
you get
willing.
me? Like, you know, we got. Hey, who shall rise up for me against the evildoers? You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have some sort of righteous backbone, man.
Yeah.
Cause this place, man, it will
grind
it will
you down.
work you to your
You know?
back.
Yeah.
On the
That
back,
fucking, that cracker, that Jake, motherfucking, what was his name in that?
I can't remember his name. Hey, we're gonna take you to the man Diggy plantation. They gonna work you to your back, give out.
Yeah, Stefan.
Yeah,
Yeah, them kind of
Yeah.
motherfuckers. There's a lot of them niggas on the jobs too, man.
That's right.
They gonna work you, like they love Esau's system.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I'm gonna read this, right? This is Wisdom of Solomon 5 from the top. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him."
Yeah, who's rising up?
Oh man.
Who's rising up against the evildoers, man?
Yeah.
Right? Who's cursing? Who's going to the gates of the nobles, shaking the hand?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
The
we're
prophets are doing that. Exactly. Starting with the apostles and the elders.
Yeah, hell yeah.
On down, man, like shaking the hand, like letting, like sounding the alarm, blowing the trumpet.
Yeah.
You know, cursing them out. You know,
Yeah.
the chief place of concourse, man, on the highways and the byways for years.
Yeah, bro.
And doing it boldly. The scripture says that what the righteous are as bold as a lion.
That's a lion, yeah.
You know?
In the face of them that afflicted us, man.
Right.
We coming out with, and you know what? We're not coming out with no bullshit. We're coming out with scriptures, and you know, we using even Esau's it's the history of the Lord, but you know, evidence that Esau puts out there to cut him. Like, you know, stuff that this is out there that you can buy, like Russian icons, books to prove that's us,
Right.
things like that. Equating it with the word to show you, but we know that most people don't believe in the word because they think it's some crazy stuff, right? But the elites know the Bible is the truth. So we're using the scriptures, our history, which is in the Bible, with historical accounts from Rome, from Persia, all these empires we've been in, the Grecian Empire, proving who the hell we are, man. Yeah? And we're cutting them. Proving the fact that we went into slavery in America and around the world. And you see, that's what I told you, but I was saying to you, even all them social media reels, have you seen how many Jakes are coming out with historical facts?
Yeah.
Have you seen all that?
Yeah.
Through Instagram and that?
Yeah.
Little mini lessons. Like you see exposing Esau, how slavery. Go ahead.
You know Jeremiah 49:11. I've made Esau bare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself.
Yeah.
His seed is spoiled.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 49:11 goes into that.
Yeah. So you're seeing all the Jake coming out with how slavery went down in Brazil, how it went down in Portugal. You know, there's even little people are using AI to show how the Moors ruled Europe. Have you seen some of that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
How it will show you like AI, but it will show you Jake in like royal regalia in Spain and all that, Granada and Andalusia and all that. Andalusia, the city of light. You know, so it shows you all of that. When Esau didn't have shit, So all these histories coming out, and we're showing that's us, that it was us, and we're standing before them that afflicted us. These people have afflicted us, bro.
Yeah,
And you know what?
Enlightened.
We've been enlightened. And you know one thing that Esau hates, and you know, especially when you get Edomites into so-called Christianity and stuff, like vocab. You know one thing they hate? Reincarnation.
Oh yeah, because
They hate that.
because you gotta get ready for the big payback.
You could have got it ready because it's you. It's
right.
you.
It's you, man.
It's you, man.
Yeah, that's right.
One thing they hate is reincarnation. Because now if reincarnation's real, then basically we gotta pay.
That's right. Yeah, it was in the past.
They love to run that.
They love
but
to
the thing
run
is,
that.
it is you, because even look at now with what's happening in the world, all this racial hatred and Trump back in power. That brought back that spirit back in these
That's
devils.
right,
So it
right.
must be you. It must have been you back then.
Yeah.
Lynching, killing, murdering. But you know they've been, you know, the devil. They've been hiding that spirit. But it's all coming back out again. So it must have been you back then also. Then I thought you've changed. You know what I mean?
Oh, can
They lulled up. Yeah.
Ethiopian change your skin and the leopard is spots?
Yeah.
Then may you also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
Yeah,
There ain't no changing in that.
There ain't no changing. And you see all that whole civil rights movements and all that stuff fucked our people up because it integrated us into this system while they were still manipulating us.
That's right.
See, when you had like Jim Crow and all that, you kind of knew where you stood. You know, Jim Crow in the deep south. Even though our people were fighting wars for Esau, you still had the Jim Crow laws and all that, but you kind of knew where you stood. The civil rights was all about like the civil rights movements with sellouts like Martin Lucifer and all that. That was all to bring our people integrated into the system and really just lull us back to sleep.
Yeah,
That's what it was about, bro.
Yeah.
While they were still playing the game, the tricks. But these devils, their games are up, man.
That's right.
So it's because we found out where the Israelites.
Yeah.
And they even, go ahead.
You
bro.
got it, Slack it.
But even Martin Lucifer Coons, we call him Martin Lucifer Coons, he said we're the Israelites, basically.
Yeah.
I have climbed to the mountaintop.
Mountaintop.
I have seen the, what do you say?
Presence of the promised land or something.
I have seen the promised land.
Yeah, yeah.
But guess what? And Amalekite wrote that motherfucking thing for him. He didn't even write that. And Amalekite wrote that for him. So they know who he is. He said, I've seen the mountaintop, I've seen the promised land. But then he pushed that bullshit about I've seen white kids and black kids holding hands and all that shit. Basically, it was all about lulling our people back to sleep, man.
Right.
Lulling Judah to sleep. Especially Judah.
Yeah, that's that equality doctrine, isn't it?
Right.
The Lord ain't dealing with it. First of all, the Lord said we're a special people. You know, and by the way, that was Jeremiah 49 and 10, not 11.
We'll get it. We'll
Jeremiah
get it anyway.
49 and 10.
We'll get it anyway.
Making Esau bear. You got it, okay.
We'll get it anyway. So it says, and afflicted him and made no account of his labors. You know, when they see it, and they made no account of our labors, bro. You see the history of America, and any invention was created by either a Negro man or a Negro woman. Or if it wasn't a Negro, a Negro man or a Negro woman, it was one of the Issacharites that created it. Every invention, air conditioning, the fridge, the refrigerator, the light bulb, you name it, bro. You think of an invention, the stoplights. Esau just stole the patents for it and then put
That's
people
right.
like Edison, Thomas Edison, and whoever, what's him, Einstein or whatever, like, you know them crackers. There was just still the patents from the Negroes that was under them, basically, and pass it off as theirs.
Right.
You didn't create it. You're not. You see how you know that one Esau? Because Edomites are not creative people. They're not about creating. They're destructive by nature. So what the fuck have they invented?
Yeah, fucking
Fraudsters, bro. Counterfeits, bro. Even like the first female, I saw it on social media, there was like the first female woman to do like flight, first female to do flight, I can't remember, was it like, I don't think it was like army, but it was like flight, female. There's a German or American white woman they put as the face of it, but it was really an Eve that was one of the first women to do flight. You know all of that history. Yeah, bro. Even like something like, I saw something like the intercom. You know, like when you have in your building, people buzz your house. It's like a security, form of security. You let them in the building. That was formed by Jake in America. The intercom. All kind of stuff, bro. So they've made no account of our labors, our inventions, our physical labors of building this place. Our work today, that still goes on in the workplace today.
Yeah.
How much times have you done something positive and so-called good at work, and they don't make no account of you. You're just a nick. You're just the N-word to them.
Oh no, Esau gets the credit for it.
And they ain't done half what you did.
Right.
Yeah, mediocre Edomites. You know what I mean? Because Esau is not exceptional at anything, man. They're like mediocre, but they get the credit for it.
Right.
Yeah, because of that fucking white supremacy.
That's right.
Which there's no such thing as white, but that's what it was created for, man. So, and you know that, I'm gonna read, man, because that shit, man, that white and black construct was created so that white supremacy, man, was like that motherfucking, so mediocre crackers can at least say they're white and they're over people of color,
right.
particular Negroes and the natives at that time. That's what it was. It was created by their elites to give them so-called benefits over us.
And then why do they call us black?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They call you black, right? Because black represents void of light.
Yeah.
Negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you have a lot of people wear black when they go to funerals, death. You know what I mean? Witches wear black.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything void, anything with void of light, attaches to black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so this is what they're saying, man. And we're just a negative. No, but they're the original black.
Yeah.
They're actually black because
Yeah.
they're the ones that are fucking void of. We got the light.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't just say that, but we are the children of the light.
Yeah.
Of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. Yeah, bro.
You know?
Yeah, bro.
But the scripture says that if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Yeah.
And what does Esau do with this word? He casts the word behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He takes this book and he pretty much remixes it to suit his own, like the fear of ye, like in Django again.
Yeah.
He manipulated the scriptures to enslave our people, the Puritans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The colonizers, they came over. Oh, even the conquistadors, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they conveniently would skip over revenge scriptures and things like that.
Right.
You know, they will do that, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
man.
Yeah, them devils,
Anything
man.
to do with like rising up and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it says, but that's why Nat Turner figured out that he was a prophet. He was prophesying. He knew what it was. So it says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed. Oh, hey, the water y'all watching me outside.
Yeah, triple four, man. Hey, the Lord be doing showing signs, man. And that's the spiritual boots. They all represent mercy, man.
Yeah.
Lord willing,
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's right.
Yeah. This is when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed.
I said they're shook.
Yeah,
so they're shook, bro. They act. I
gotta do it like my southern. I gotta do it like my. You know that.
Yeah, stay shook, man. And the Malik, stay shook too. Because guess what? The scripture says, in Jeremiah 28 and 8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied against, right? Yeah. Many kingdoms of war, evil, and pestilence. And this is the worst kingdom of all. So, and the prophets are back here prophesying. This is the worst. So, guess what? They're shook. Because they're seeing, the scripture says what? After 3 days and a half, the spirit of life entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Yeah. And great fear fell upon them that saw them. Yeah. So they're in fear, man. They're shook, bro.
Yeah.
And how do they know this truth? Yeah, they're shook of the word. Because why the word? What does the scripture say about Hebrews 4 and 12 about the word? It's sharper than any two-edged sword, right? Right? Getting into the discerner of the thoughts and the intent of the heart. It gets all up into your bone marrow, man. Your thoughts, your conscience. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's really pulling the fabric of Esau's, wicked ass society apart. All his lies. All the lies. That's what the word is doing. It's exposing him, man. Through the spirit. Hey, this to speak about. Behold, I'll make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. What's that? Jeremiah 5 and 14. So this word is like, it's like a conflagration. It's like it's devouring Esau's kingdom.
It's coming out.
Burn Babylon. You get me? You have to get my face
that's it.
You get me? Babylon are gonna burn.
Babylon like a fire, man.
And them nukes are gonna fly, man.
Boy, they gonna chase them crazy ballers. Hey, we gonna chase them crazy. You know that?
Yes. That's when Lord, when you have a
we gonna chase them crazy. It's like,
that's when Yahweh turns us into them hunters too.
Yeah, bro.
Because we gonna get to hunting, man. Lord willing. Or the Lord's gonna give his, men like spiritual powers, man. Yeah. This is when the top enemy of the Israelites are the Edomites, right?
That's who we're under, man.
Right.
We're under their fucking authority right now.
Right.
Under their spell, man. their system.
Right.
Yeah.
Scripture says, when the enemy shall come in as a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Yeah.
You know, so that's that spiritual power. That's what the Lord's going to do. He's going to raise up his men, man. You know, this stupid infrastructure, man.
Yeah.
Potholes in the roads.
Yeah, you heard all
man's
that.
kingdom. Yeah, this man's kingdom done.
And we were saying that, man, we were over at, I'm gonna read this. We were at that service station when we were saying that.
Yeah.
How basically Ammon and Moab, they've surpassed this shit.
Right.
Like, this system is like broken down. The England, America, all fucking shitty roads. Their service station was, you see that old bridge? All tatty ass buildings. We live around it, man. It's all tatty ass building blocks. Like, have you seen some of them Chinese cities, bro? They're crazy. Way more advanced, bro.
Yeah, man.
Them Japanese cities, they're way more advanced than this shit. They've taken Esau's technology and surpassed him for prophecy's sake.
Yeah, like you mentioned, electronic cars.
All their cars are better.
Yeah.
Their goods are better. I mean, they give us all their goods. They're the ones selling it here.
Right.
No one ain't thinking about British shit. That era's over, man. American made. That era's done, bro. American flags are made in China, bro. What did that guy say? They make you. What did he say? He said
They make you fat.
Woo! That Chinese, he said they steal from you. Talking about the fucking the government. He said they steal from you and you're happy. He said, what did he say? They make you. he said at least in China, basically the government of the Chinese has, even though you got poverty there, they've helped. They're actually self-made millionaires in China.
Yeah, they invested.
That's why a lot of them you see come to the West have money. Whereas the people in the West are broke. Because the government's here, them small hats just take your shit.
Yeah.
Through debt and taxes, bro. That's it.
Consume.
And you can't buy housing here. You can't do shit in England. In the Western world, you can barely, in England anyway, it's hard to get housing. You're not making enough money. Most people are not making enough money to get housing. It's just hard to do anything. Like back in the Windrush generation, they was able to work hard and buy their houses back in that time. Even though it would have been expensive in that time, that showed you a nurse could work, or a regular working man, or a building man could work and buy a house. You can't even do that anymore. That's done. You'd be happy. You'd be pressed to rent one single room.
You see where it's headed, man. What's the saying? You will own nothing and be happy.
That's right, Klaus Schwab.
That's right,
That devil. So he says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for.
Yes.
Yeah, because how do they look at our people? You know what I mean? And you know what's funny? Because a few years ago, a year back, Putin actually said, look, he showed the icons, and that went over people's heads, but he showed the Messiah as a so-called black man, and people was around the world was getting mad, and it was getting mad on social media, and the American devils were like straight hating. Basically, you will always be the N-word, you're never more than that, and all that. That's how they look at us.
Yep.
You're nothing but ghetto, whatever, ghetto monkeys, or whatever the fuck they say, man. You know these devils, they talk all kind of shit on the dinner table. That's how they look at us, man. But that's why it said they're gonna be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. So, and you know what? Another thing I'm gonna say, Esau's system's going down, and you can see it off these average Edomites. They ain't got the pump they once had.
Yeah, man.
We were just up around them. They all look deflated. We were laughing at them. Yeah. I mean, we at the bottom. Remember, they know whenever they see us. I mean, we're like peaceable, but they can see we're discussing things.
Yeah, come on, man. Even his women want to get the J.
They want, come on, man. That's been happening. Esau is going down, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
They Edomite, the men in Esau's system, they're too busy being like, their true spirit of homosexuality is heavy in this world. They don't even repopulate. They always blaming immigrants for having kids, or Jake for having children. What's wrong with children? Children is what makes the system, your societies prosper. Not in this. Obviously, it's a blessing, but in this world, they wanted you to hinder that. That's that Edomite shit, man. Depopulation and all that. Yeah, and you're seeing it now, and it's the fruits of that, because you're not following the natural order. Your world's coming to its end, bro. You know, children are like a building block of a society. Yeah. That's why the system's got to come to its end. They promote to not have big families. They, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah, because they do everything that's opposite of what's righteous. You know, that's why they promote sodomy. That's why they promote, you know, like PRIDE marches.
Yeah.
And all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they uplift, right? Abominable filth.
Yeah.
Filthy behavior. Why do they do it? Which pushes nothing but death and disease and confusion. Why do they do that? Because the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. Alright? And the scripture says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, man. All the ordinances have been changed. Right? Everything has been put, like, changed upside down, back to front. You know? And this is why we need Yahweh Shai. And again, going back to the sighing and crying, we need Yahweh Shai.
We need Yahweh Shai, bro.
Right. Because he's going to turn it right side up again.
We badly need him, bro.
We need him, man. We need him.
We know he's out. We know he's out there, bro. He's in the third heaven, right? He's up there, bro. He's at the right hand side of the Father, man, waiting. We need him, bro.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck do we have here, man? We starting on it, man. We're in the bag full of holes. We're mentally got problems, physically got problems. We're just tired. You know, as you get older in the system, you get tired.
Yeah.
Obviously, look, man, we're complaining as younger men. We know we got our brothers that are older brothers that are going through, apostles. You see it on them, man. Obviously, they're strong and physical, still teaching the word, but they're, you know, you're aging in hell, basically. So,
but even through all of that, Arkham, just remember this, and you sisters as well, man. Like the scriptures call this a light affliction.
A light affliction.
Like even because what we're about to receive, man. Oh my goodness.
We're gonna get the kingdom, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, the scriptures eyes have not seen. Like imagine, like I was speaking to Elder Ramah about this yesterday on the way, you know, up north from that we was traveling. Listen, man. I said one thing to him, and I said, look, imagine there's gonna come a time when you're gonna be able to open your eyelids. Like, you know, from a sleep, you open your eyelids, and you ain't gonna have to worry about nothing.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a time appointed where you're gonna be able to open those eyelids.
Yeah.
And no anxiety.
Oh,
no nothing.
No economic stress.
No stress. No problems.
No women arguing with you.
Man.
Do you get me? Do you remember that apostles always said it, like one of the close things you can see? I'm gonna read the scripture, bro, but one of the close things you can see
is
motherfucking coming to America.
Yeah,
at the beginning of it.
Yeah,
that's like one of the close things you can see. That was all Jake.
Yeah.
The woman was fucking, he had a fine ass woman prepared for him. He's gonna marry her.
Bathers.
He had that royal pool. Motherfucking, he had every sports hall.
Yeah.
And remember in the back, when he was eating dinner with his parents, they were like far away on the table. You know, it was like a big banquet hall. Then you had the fucking animals in the back.
She was
like,
smiling.
yo.
She was smiling.
Come on, bro. They know who Jake is. Put that in them movies. That was a badass movie too.
Movie.
Coming to America 1, the 80s one, man. You know
what did his dad say to him? He goes, do you have sex with your bathers?
Yeah.
I know I do.
That's royal. That's royal.
Oh, that's royal,
bro.
Come on,
see all this bullshit in this system, man. That people coming up polygamy.
You cheated on her.
All of that. You cheated. Man, can you see why we need to get out of here?
Yeah, we got a guy.
You cheated.
Come on,
motherfucker, I'm royalty. You cheated.
Bro,
that's what they promote in this system, man. And you actually have men that believe this shit. I'm not supposed to have more than one woman.
Wow.
You got men that actually believe the philosophy. I guess actually I've just cheated on my woman. You get me? While the women in this system creep behind your back and seek all kind of men.
Right.
Married women at that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro, how backward this shit is. Can you see why we need Yahweh Shai, bro? Brothers and sisters, man.
That's right.
We need the Lord, bro, to set it up for us, set this order for us, man. Bring us back to the real reality.
That's right.
It says the strangers always, and this is coming, bro, so far beyond all that they look for, right? Because they never think we're gonna be anything. That's because we're dead. We're dead. Our people are spiritually dead, physically dead, and it's a sad thing to see where we've been a conquered people. You see it on our people, man. We avoid 2/3 and shit, but you see how defeated and conquered 2/3 are. That's why when
some curses, man.
It's them curses, man.
Yeah.
That's why when the Lord like kind of tweaks Judah and we're seeing little things happening, it's exciting. Like rise up, like
It's prophecy. It's prophecy.
Like that Planet of the Apes shit. Yeah, it's good. It's good to watch that.
Yeah.
They're finally starting to see things.
Hey, what does the scripture say? Thine heart shall meditate terror. Like, how we're gonna have these heathen in the kingdom is gonna be brilliant.
Oh, yeah,
So we're gonna rule over them with a rod of iron.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, remember when the boss tell you, slave, get this, slave, get that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Classic, man. You know, we gonna be, look, man, we meditating.
That whip.
We're gonna get that whip out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be busting your ass, man, because you're busting our ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got fucking, but then sometimes you might be doing a job and you got these fucking heathen. You got it. You got heathen like, oh, have you got that as well? Have you done that?
Right.
And you know what I mean? They're be pointing at shit for you to do, and you just be.
You know what they're doing.
Gritting your teeth, and watch when the tables are turned, bitch.
Yeah, you know what they're doing.
You just put a curse on them and keep it
That's
moving.
what you gotta do. That's what you know. But you know what they're doing? They're little exercising their so-called little power.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, it's their kingdom.
What about if I was to crack you in your fucking your fucking what's that fucking cannoli or whatever the fuck them Italians say? I'll crack you in your motherfucking. But we don't do that, by the way. You don't.
Right,
you know.
right.
But that's how you feel.
Right. But that's what the scripture says. Wait ye upon me.
Wait ye upon me.
Saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may pour upon them mine indignation, which is righteous anger. So it's going to be justifiable. What? You know how we going to get up in that ass? That's going to be justifiable, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a righteous anger. Remember, the Lord said he's going to put his fury upon us. We shall do according to his fury and according to his anger. So you ain't going to be able to bargain with us. You know what I'm trying to say? We're going to be moving like the Predators. And they got another Predator coming out as well.
I've seen.
You see the trailer?
Yeah.
They got another Predator coming out.
They're always decent.
Yeah, and they came in on the ships.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know?
The last one they had, it was during the time of Gad. That was good. And it was like the French, and he was fucking up them French fucking so-called settlers, them devils.
Right.
And he had to. It was like a woman getting away from him. She's like he was messing with Gad and that. It was good. So it says, and they repented and groaning, verse 3, they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometime in derision and a proverb of reproach. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, like you're probably reading 2 or 3 scriptures, but you're on them for so long. Yeah, bro. But that's what they've had us as a proverb of reproach, you know what I mean?
Yeah, looking down on us.
Looking down on us.
You know, even though we're over you, man.
We're over you, man. They know it, but they're in the power seat to...
That's that pride.
They're in the power seat to afflict us.
Yeah.
And really, they're taking revenge because of what we did to them in the Dark Ages or Middle Ages. Sorry, because in the Moorish the empires of the Middle Ages, whether it was Greece, whether it was Byzantium, we were fucking them Ottoman Turks up, them devils. That's why in the spirit they hate us so much. We were messing them devils up, and there's historical facts to back that up. Books and all that. You seen them books with them. See, in Turkey, you have in Istanbul, you have like there's an underground water system, and that was built by Jakes, right? And it's all massive pillars, and it was the bathing system. They don't use it anymore. It's like, I think you can go and visit it as tours now, yeah. But that was built by Jake under the city, and it was all a bathing system. And you've seen them old pictures. It was like it'd be a black man with a straight up naked so-called white woman. Why? Because we had them in captivity.
That's right.
Yeah, bro. And them royal baths and that, marble baths and that. You look at it, look it up, man. That was all Jake's history, bro. And the Turks sacked it. Constantinople. That was when they got into that seat. You know, they sacked Constantinople in what? The 1400s.
1452, I think it was.
Because why? The deadly wound was beginning to be healed.
That's right.
Because the Turks are Edomites. In fact, they're Amalekites.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but with that, the Ottoman Turks, Mehmed II, I believe it was.
Right.
And they sacked Constantinople, 1452, I believe, Mehmed II.
Right.
You know? So,
they sacked it, bro.
But there's even they even got documentaries on how they sacked it.
Yeah, bro.
You know, I think it was Constantine, was it the 11th? I believe, one of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but Byzantine Empire, man, we were ruling in the Dark Ages, bro.
We ruled Europe, man.
But that's why they call it the Dark Ages, because they don't want to give credit to how you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of a sudden, they got all this history from ancient Egypt and this and that. When it comes to the Dark Ages, we just...
Yeah, just skip over. We gloss over. Man. Yeah, but but you know, that's the devil, because, you know, Esau don't want to tell you who you are. Why would it benefit your enemy to let you know who you is?
Exactly.
The Lord's telling us now, though, and now Esau's even having to admit it, because you've seen how they're showing like pictures and busts of Septimius in England. You know, there was one great African emperor. You've seen that clip, innit? And he's talking to that Eve. Yeah. And he had to show in look. Jake was in England. Septimius was here in England, helping during the time of the war with the Etruscans and all that. All right, he's a big general. Came out of Libya. Anyway, so let me read this here. but there was generals before him. So let me read this. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom he had sometime in derision and a proverb of reproach. All right. We fools accounted his life madness and to be without honor. Yeah, man. How is, yeah, that's how they look at us. They look at us like a people of no honor. And it's mad because when we know the truth, we know Edomites better than they know themselves. And they're looking at us like we are people of no honor. And if you look at the state of our people, they behave like that. But the Lord's, it's all the Lord's timing, man.
Yeah, but that's a lot of that.
Timing, bro.
A lot of that goes back to Esau too.
Yeah.
With what, you know, through the.
He gave us the wine, man.
Exactly. Well, the scripture says that what Habakkuk,
yeah,
Walton, and I put that bottle Habakkuk 2 and bottle to that neighbor, makes him drunk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Habakkuk 2 and where is it? Verse.
Where am I? Habakkuk 2.
Put that bottle to their neighbor. Habakkuk 2 and is it 6? Is it?
Is it 2? Well, yeah, sorry. That was
15 or something. Put that bottle to him.
Yeah, I got it.
Drunk. Yeah, you got it?
Yep. Habakkuk 2 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and makest him drunk also, that they mayest look on their...
you're inebriated, you're intoxicated with that Babylon juice, basically.
Yeah.
But like you was mentioning about Martin Luther the Coon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Lucifer.
I've been to, Martin Lucifer Coon.
I've been into the
mountain top, and I've seen the promise and all of that, lulling you back to sleep.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? But you set up these false leaders, right? These so-called black leaders, right? And you put them before our people and push garbage upon them. Through the music industry, you do the same thing.
Lull they ass to sleep.
The stupid ass rap music, drug taking, drug selling, gun toting, drilling, motherfucking degenerate scumbags, right? And then you own these record labels, and you push that. You put the bottle to Jake, and you make them drunk, and you make look on our nakedness.
Have you ever seen that video of Bobby Schmurder in like the
oh man,
in the motherfucking, and it's all these Edomites looking at him, and he's doing the most for that deal.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
he's like, and he's like on his knees, like sliding on the table, like on, in like Sony Pictures and all that. Sony to get the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Then he wants that record deal. He's doing. You gotta see it, bro. It's like it's almost it's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing, and he's gonna be ashamed. These Israelites that sold their soul, right? They're gonna be ashamed. They're gonna have their heads down. You know, because the scripture say, what should it profit a man if he should gain the whole world and lose his own soul? You sold out for a corruptible crown, man. And the stuff that you have to do. For a happy meal. Yeah, for a happy meal. Like what Ye said, ain't it? For a happy meal. It's a crappy deal. Yeah. It was a crappy deal, man.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and now you got celebrities out there that whinge, they complain about it in their later lives.
Yeah, later.
Like MJ did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sony.
Yeah.
Crying about it.
Their rights and that.
Come on, Prince, same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
What was and look how talented they were. Superstars and that. You had people going, Edomites fainting in their concerts and shit.
Yeah.
Michael! And all that. And then in the end, look what Michael had to do. Crying about Sony.
And look what they did. They fucking stained his name as well in the end of his life. You know, they basically, you know all the stuff they said about him, and they were just destroying him.
Yep.
So, you know, that's these fucking devils, man.
They're gonna pay. Yeah.
Right. So it says that put us that bottle to him and make us him drunk. Also, they made our people drunk, man. Like you're saying, philosophies, the music, they fucking push the Christian doctrine on our people, use our people to push it on our people.
Yep.
You know, they pay these fucking, what's that one that just retired? What's his name? Shit. What's that demon, man? Not Eddie Long, man. He's gone, isn't it? What's the other one? I forgot his name, man. He's retired now, apparently. He's passed the mantle to his daughter. Shit. I forgot the geezer's name, man. But basically, they pay these Christian pastors to lull our people to sleep as well. They'll give them private jets, all type of shit, man, to keep teaching lies to our people.
Yeah, 501c3.
501, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
they fund them, tax exempt.
Come on, man, tax exempt.
They're tax exempt. So and imagine that you're not paying no tax.
A gift destroyeth the heart.
Bruv, no tax.
Yep.
In Esau's world, the devil, these fucking crackers love to tax you.
That's right.
Imagine you're not paying no tax to them.
Yeah, the tax man come after you for, like, you know what I mean?
That's why you're eating sweet, man. That's why all them, you know, like we know that's happening within the Israelite world also. You know what I mean? Because I think even that was with Nate and them. They're like tax exempt.
Being a good slave, man.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing that a while back. They were even saying like, there was, you know, some basically they're like tax exempt. That's why they're eating, especially the, you know, their hierarchy or whatever. You know, because money's a thing that they push on our people also.
And that's why they ain't pushing the name.
That's why they ain't pushing the
You
name.
know? And the thing is, all of this destruction and what that's about to happen a time like no other, since there was a nation, Daniel 12:1, right? That's all going to happen to serve to magnify the name of the Lord. So all of this effort to try and not push the name is futile, because the Lord's going to jack this place up to magnify his name anyway.
They're gonna,
just like he did to Pharaoh.
they're gonna see that thing over there, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna say, yeah, that's right. Because what did they say? I do this not for your sake. I do this for my name's sake.
My name's sake.
Ezekiel.
That's right.
So Yahweh Bashem Yahshai will get exalted anyway. Yeah, man.
That's right.
So it says that thou mayest look on their nakedness. You know, and that's meaning nakedness doesn't just mean you're exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you see our people. They're in a lot of our people. They're in a completely destroyed mind state. Gone, bro. They're physically gone, mentally gone. They're just gone, bro. You see our people, man. They're fucking gone, bro. They're mentally ill.
Yeah, the whole head is sick.
The whole head is sick, bro.
Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
And we know they need to be destroyed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For their own good.
Yeah.
If they don't wake up to this knowledge, that's a fact, bro. Women included. If you ain't right, man.
That's right, man. You degenerates.
They just totally, man. Jake is fucking gone, bro.
Gone away backwards. Yeah.
It's for real. And that, man, and guess what? We're not Lord willing, we work on our emotions, bro. So that includes family, bro. Think about that too. That's us saying that. If your mom and your sister ain't right, your dad ain't right, which Lord willing, Lord will be with them. That includes them, because we know it all is all controlled by them. Yahweh Bashem Yahshai anyway. That includes them if they ain't right. You gotta get that out of your mind too. This ain't an all-inclusive thing. It's like, you know what I mean? The Lord works with you, and you gotta go in the spirit, man, because this ain't for everyone.
That's right. Yep. I got a preset, bro.
Go on, bro.
Real quick. It's Isaiah 28:7, since we're stopping traffic. It says, but they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment.
Yeah.
You know? And this is
them sellouts.
Yeah, them sellouts, the so-called leaders of our people, right? They're pretty much inebriated. They're intoxicated with the filth of Babylon. You know? And then they push it upon our people. And Esau's the one that's controlling the strings behind all of that. Setting up these false leaders and that and pushing them amongst our people. That's why they got them acting like a damn buffoon in the Christian church, talking in tongues, which is nothing but fucking called up. Come on, that babbling that they do, jumping up and down. And the Christian church ain't nothing but a fucking harlot house and a concert, man.
Oh my God, it's one of the worst.
You know,
it's one of the worst.
Erring in judgment. So that's what
I saw one church in America, and they're just getting desperate now.
Right.
They were like banging on tambourines, talking about TikTok. I was like, it's like these nutcases. And when you look at it with the spirit, they just got demons.
Yeah.
The church is like, that's why apostles, we always bring it out. The black church is always in the movies as a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Are you here for righteousness and all that? And you like that motherfucking it's so Eddie Murphy showed you that.
Coming to
America
again.
Remember, even he told him, he said to him, he goes, yeah. And what did he say to him? He goes, in coming to America, he goes, basically, Eddie Murphy was looking for a wife. So when he went, you know the movie, he said to him, church. He said to him, you know the barber.
Yeah.
Told him, church. No, he goes, there's an event. He said, there's an event, come, like run by the pastor.
Yeah.
And how you feeling? It was all like, it's all them women. You get me?
Yeah, like a pageant.
It was a pageant. Basically, but the point is, it was the pastor like leading it.
Yeah, go on. Ladies. Ladies. Go on, the harlot house, bro.
And that's the church.
Yeah, that's it. Hypocrites.
You see women in them churches wearing all these tight ass dresses.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's not modest apparel.
Yeah, bro.
Come on,
I've seen them, bro. You've seen them even in some of them African churches. The women's all twerking. Have you seen some of that shit? It's basically a rave.
Come on, man. You got pastors locking doors, forcing their congregation to give money. You know what I'm saying? I've seen clips of that. Pastors locking doors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Demanding grants from their congregation and that and whatever. Man, it's a fucking joke, man.
Bringing them all out.
It
Come on, bro.
Yeah, but you know, it's a fucking joke. And that's why, the scripture says they err in judgment, man. They stumble in vision. They ain't got the vision, man. Guess who's got the vision? The prophets have got the vision. Okay? The scripture says the vision is yet for an appointed time, and at the end it shall speak and not lie. And guess what? What's involved in the vision? The prophecy of the mark of the beast, the chip, right? All hell breaking loose. All these tariffs and that, and you see right now all these divisions. Over here in the UK, you got reform gaining traction. Right?
Yeah.
Racial divides.
Tell them what reform is.
Reform. Yeah, that's that fucking repackaged BNP or UKIP.
Basically a racist
Basically, it's a racist white organization.
It's the BNP.
Yeah. Guys
which they have origins. They have origins with basically the UK KKK movement.
Right.
That's really where they originate from. Their parties originate from like when Jake and immigrant people was first coming to England, they were getting their heads kicked in on a ground level. Then they became political. You know? Then you got then they became BNP and whatnot. Then what you have now, they repackaged it as something called reform. So it's all white people joining onto that.
That's right.
Take our country. So boundaries are being written up again. Right.
And why are they getting this traction? Because they spun this whole immigrant crisis, right, to fit, right, or to fan the flames of that traction, right? Because people are, take our country back. Look at what they're doing. Like the geezer, that Merseyside thing that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The actual geezer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That set the thing off. That gave them so much more traction.
They were having race wars here, man.
Yeah. So
it's calmed down now. But that's it. We know what it is because it's calmed down now. But that's just for it to like pop right back off.
That's right. And it's the Lord that's doing this.
Oh yeah.
It's the Lord that's causing that divide. That's why we keep telling you, look man, the time right now of you just being able to walk down the street, it's a nice sunny day. Listen, those days are coming to an end.
Real soon. And we see it.
You know?
We see it, bro.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Can I read this?
Yeah, you got it up.
Can I read this? Ecclesiastes. No, this is all good, bro. It's all edification. Ecclesiasticus 39:1. It says, but these motherfuckers look, as soon as you come in, he look all tired and that.
Isn't it?
You're alright, but they look all tired and that. Ecclesiasticus 39 from the top. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. He will keep the sayings of the renowned men, and where subtle parables are, he will be there also. Go ahead.
And that parable is what? A dark saying, man.
Yeah.
Right? And what did the disciples say to Yahushua? In Matthew 13, it tells you, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Right? He answered and said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
Yeah.
So the truth
to who? To them. Who's the them?
The elect.
But to them that ain't given is who?
To them that ain't given
is the masses.
It's the masses. Which the word mass means death.
Oh yeah, there, okay.
Right?
Go, bro.
Right? It's only given to the elect to receive.
This is a secret.
Right, that's right.
It's a secret place, man.
Oh, eyes that they should not see and ears that they should not hear. Right? Or Isaiah 6:9. Oh, what did the Apostle Paul say? Romans 11:7. What then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for.
I get that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Israel, you know? Yeah, I can just quote it.
Okay,
Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Yeah. And when you go into that word election, the root word is eklegomai, I believe, or eklego. Eklegomai, which means pertaining to the Israelites. Right? So come on, man. This is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. It ain't for any other nation. You know? Yep. So this is only for the elect of the nation of Israel to obtain this knowledge, this wisdom, and this understanding, which is going to lead us to our salvation. Lord willing, we're of the elect. Yeah. You know? Same for everybody, man. That's the mysterion, right? Given unto you to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not given. The word there for mystery should be mysterion, which means a secret thing. Yeah. Which lines up to what? Amos 3:7. Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets, man. Yeah. Right? So that's who the Lord set up to prophesy. The prophets, man. They got the secrets, bro. Right? The scriptures tell you, he that abideth in the shadow of the Almighty, the secret place of the Most High, under the shadow of the Almighty. What, Psalms 91, right? Come on, man. What's the secret place of the Most High? The shadow of the Almighty. The true understanding of this word. This mystery, man. You know? That's right, mystery. Bro.
I got something. So this is Hosea 4:6. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
So they're going to be destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
They ain't got no knowledge.
Right. They ain't got no knowledge.
Motherfuckers are dry bones out here, man.
Yeah, dead.
And you know what? You get tired of hearing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Nowhere in this society, you just get tired of the philosophies of these 2/3, bro. They just come up with all kind of shit every other week.
Yeah.
It says it's always something new. Like, you still ain't. I mean, they're seeing it. People are starting to see things like the race things cracking up, and which is good. The Lord's using certain energies to like rouse up Jake and stuff, right? Which is a good thing. But motherfuckers still would want to side with Esau and be friendly with everyone. And you seen Jake? That's one basic concept they can't even get. That these so-called white people are their enemies, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though they know these people are like, there's racism and things like that, they still
got Stockholm syndrome.
There you go.
They got Stockholm
syndrome. You still can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You still can't get it, bro.
They're in love with their captors.
They're in love with this shit. Cause I've seen it, man. I've seen on the comment boards, Jake still talking about, yeah, there's racism in America, but still building up shit for themselves there.
Right.
Like, hey, don't you? Ain't you getting it? That place is that's Egypt. That's where you're bought to be slaves, be enslaved, bro.
Oh, that's what Isaiah 31. Trusting in the shadow of Egypt. You know,
I've seen it. We got to build our own. I've seen one person say we got to get our own armies and hospitals. Man, you did that. Look up all the drowned towns, man. All the towns, Esau, the Devil's Punch Bowl, post-slavery, man, where Esau slaughtered our people that were just coming out of captivity. Esau destroyed whole towns of prosperous Jakes that had hospitals, had banks. But you know one thing that they didn't have? An army.
Right. Right.
See, your army will protect your boundaries. They didn't have no army. How the fuck are you gonna have an army in Esau's land? No fucking people beeping.
Idiots.
Anyway, man.
Demons, man.
So it says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. That thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. You go into it, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so you reject the knowledge of the Lord.
When you're ready, you know, keep going, man.
Because you rejected the Lord says he's gonna reject you, man. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. You know, and earlier you mentioned about Egypt and that. I've got Isaiah 31 here. Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust.
You close when you're ready.
Calm, brother.
Yeah,
and trust in chariots because they are many.
And they trust in chariots, meaning they trust in this place. Why? Because there's the goodies and shit like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They trust in this shit, man. Basically. Niggas want to drive in the what did he say in The Godfather? Give it to the niggas in Harlem, he said. They driving them big Cadillacs. He said, them racist ass Italians.
Yeah.
Sonny.
Yeah.
He said he was talking about, they always, Jake, they're always discussing Jake. Even though them Italians, they're nothing but fucking bugged out Negroes themselves anyway, them Italians. Anyway, but he said it, he goes, yeah, them spooks in Harlem driving the Cadillacs, he said. Jake like Cadillacs. You know what I'm saying? He was basically mocking Jake. Jake like them chariots and shit. These dumbass Italians. But anyway, go on, right?
Yeah, it says, and in horsemen, because
they're always mocking us in their movies, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
What did he even say to him in The Godfather? Sell them the drugs, he said. They're animals anyway. Because they were saying don't sell, they were having a meeting, they said, look, don't sell heroin in our communities, blah, 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 blah. Then he said, keep selling it to those blacks, they're animals anyway.
Yeah, animals anyway.
Yeah.
I heard that, yeah.
That greaseball.
That was the first Godfather,
yeah, that was
wasn't
the first one. So that greaseball said, sell it to them, let them have it, because they're animals anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Go on, bro.
Yeah, come on, bro. It says, but they look not. It says, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord.
They don't look to the most Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man.
Right.
That's why our people are fucked up. Just being in the truth and you seek Yahweh, man, be quiet, man.
It's a black woman as well.
Yeah, they're coot jobs, innit?
Oh, man.
Out here, man. Anyway, and then, even I've heard Apostle Gabar say, like, the black women in England is, like, probably even running up close with Eve in America and that. Yeah. They're all demons here, too.
Demons.
You don't know the half, man. Or, brothers know, but you know what time it is. But look, man, what did that say, bro? They said?
It says they seek not unto the...
They don't seek Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. What I was going to say on that, bro, is like, just seeking the Lord, knowing His truth, is healing. Because, like, the word is powerful, like, it changes you. It changes the way you think. It changes the way you do things.
That's right.
You know, whether it's like your health, whatever it is, it helps you make the right decisions. You know, like
Carry
it helps you
yourself
carry yourself different. Helps you fight these demons out here. You know what I mean?
Armor.
It's the armor. Something that's like what people would think. Well, why do you eat prawns and crabs? Because the scriptures tell me not to.
Because I'm armed.
And y'all are filled up with them demons. And what happens with a lot of people that eat prawns and crabs and pork and all that? Later in life, they end up getting sick.
Yeah.
It hits them when the Lord wants to take the demons off them.
Yeah.
It's all they're all fucked up. Parasites all over them, all that. So this word helps you, man. People think this is like, our people put it behind them because our people are so oppressed. They don't want to hear what the word says because they're just thinking, what can I have now? But this is the beginning of healing you.
That's right.
If you understand it.
That's right. That's right.
Go on, bro. But they trust in they trust in Esau.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. What did Yahweh Shai say? What they that are whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. You know what I'm saying? So this word does heal.
It heals you.
We were sick, but now guess what? Through this word, we're being healed, man.
It heals you, bro.
You know? Because anything outside of this word represents death. That's why the scripture says, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. And so you think you're alive, you're really just a walking dead.
And bro, you know what I've noticed as well? Yeah, it's true, brother. That's true, man. You know what I've noticed? Like, a lot of these pubs are being closed down. Even where I'm living at, a lot of these old school pubs that were here are getting shut, bro.
Yeah.
The shit's shutting down.
Yeah, the door shall be shut.
They can't probably even afford the rent there anymore.
Yeah, job layoffs.
We're seeing it, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot of buildings, forget the matrix, the pride of the people. Forget all that. That's part of the creation. But the actual what's going on around us, a lot of shutting down. Covent Garden, I'm seeing it. The doors are shutting, bro. Even there's a pub by where we're going now. It was bustling, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, on that corner, it's gone now. It was bustling. That is gone. Every day it was bustling.
Yeah, it ain't been the same since the CD1.
That shut everything down.
Yeah.
Like, see, that was all a gradualization to what we're getting into now.
That's right. That's right.
And brothers was talking about it at the camp, man. There was like a few of these food stores that there was a cyber attack, you know, in one of them. And it was basically a few of these food stores had backed up. They didn't get produce. They had no drinks. They had nothing in the stores, bro. That wasn't a coincidence.
Well, that's victuals. What, 2 Ezra 16 and 21.
Yeah.
Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall fit themselves to be in good case.
Okay.
Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, the sword, famine.
Look at that car. Look at that, bro. Another pub.
One.
Bam.
Another one shot. Yeah.
I'll show you that. There's gonna be another one.
Yeah.
It'll be third one.
Yep.
I'm telling you. Shutting, bro. They're all shutting, bro.
So get ready for famine.
Get ready for this shit, bro.
These tariffs, man, it's just the beginning of the end, boy.
It's the beginning of the end.
You know,
Bro, even I was
cargos.
And you know it's the spirit, bro, because even these, it's like, we say it years back, like Taco Bell and all these corporate spots are the ones that will be open. That slop shit.
Yeah, the slop stuff, man.
Slot, and that's what's happening. That's even when we were just at the services we was at. You know, a new store they had built, a Taco Bell in there. Like a Demolition Man. What was open? Taco Bell. That was like fine dining.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and in Demolition Man, you had people living off the grid, underground,
bro.
Eating rat burgers and that and whatever, you know, those that didn't bow down to the system, basically, you know.
Bro, even me, I was tripping up in the store. Went in the store. I was like, I said to the man in there, where the drinks at, man? He said, oh, we have no stock for 7 days. I said, what? Then I went to another store, and it was the same thing. That's when the joke thing is at the camp. The brothers said the same thing. I was like, whoa, even where they was at.
Yeah, it's happening, man. Suddenly, shall the sown places appear unsown.
And that's how quickly it can happen. This is, you know, that's how quickly it can shut up. We've seen it, bro. Society, thank you.
Yeah.
Societies can change overnight, man.
Yeah, or
right?
what's it? It goes on Sirach 5.
I get it.
Sirach 5 and 7.
I get it.
You know, because it can happen like you just said. It can happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
So this is a scripture where there's another one. The Apostle Paul, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 3.
Yeah.
When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So that peace and safety spirit, we're not in a time of peace, man. You see what the fuck's going on? India, Pakistan, tariffs, China, you know, wars, rumors of wars. It's happening. We're here.
And your trust in Egypt will fail.
Right.
If you trust in this place, you're a Negro, Latino, Native American, you trust in America, man, it's gonna fail. America ain't coming back, bro. America, Babylon, this system of the so-called white man, yeah, we would have healed Babylon. See, England's gonna be here because we're gonna rule it still. America ain't coming back. get that in your mind, man. You ain't. A lot of our people still want to build something, and America's finished, bro. It was a system where the Lord set up the New World Order. There, the Lord set them up to rule through Columbus and their conquerors, and now He's bringing them down. We're not gonna rule America. America's gonna be done. You know, there's gonna be a new world, bro. A new heaven, as the scripture says.
Dwelleth righteousness.
Where this shit ain't gonna exist anymore, bro. Right? So I'll read Ecclesiastes, right?
Yeah,
Ecclesiastes 5 and 7, it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to be putting off. You know, come on, man, to turn into the Lord. The scripture says, seek ye the Lord while He may be found, call ye upon Him while He is near. Right? Through His men, through His mouthpiece, man. Right? That He set up on the earth, you know? Make no tarrying. Because we ain't in the time of, like, though it tarry, wait for it, it will surely come, it will not tarry. Thief in the night, man. You making your bed in Babylon, you gonna get caught out. You know, you made this place your refuge. You didn't, come on, man. You didn't seek to the Holy One of Israel, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Therefore, because you trusted in the shadow of Egypt, man, let that be your shame.
And it will be.
And it will be.
Yeah. And it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. In thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and perish in the day of vengeance.
That's right. When you think you're secure, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got people making these plans and this and that and whatever. I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna holiday in 5 years. I'm gonna stack. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build barns. I'm gonna build greater. You know what I'm saying? Like that parable of the individual that wanted to build barns to bestow his fruits. You know what I'm saying? And then hold on, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. That's what happens to people that are in that peace and safety or secure mindset in this place.
It's just the majority.
Right. Yeah, the majority. And why? Because the broad way that leads to destruction is wide, and but narrow is the path that leads to life. And
most of these people, they're all they're all high on weed and all some type of psychedelic to lull themselves while they fucking get by in the system. They ain't got a clue, man. They showed you that in that. What was that latest one that they had in Netflix? That movie, man. The one that they with Mahershala Ali.
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind. Remember, it had like that guy Kevin Bacon. He was like serious-minded prepper. Yeah. Remember when he was putting things on his boot before it all cracked off, and she kind of looked at him. What's her name? Julia Roberts. She was looking at him like she knew there was something different about this guy. Then guess what? It was him they was trying to run to late in the film. Because why? He was foreseeing what's happening. You know, when you're in that spirit, you look at the people that walk around like you don't have a clue what you're about to experience.
That's right, bro. Yeah, like a deer in the headlights.
Like a deer in the headlights, man.
Just ready for
now someone could say that about us. Well, what are you gonna do? Well, at least we've been doing Yahweh Shai's mind and work, man. So guess what? We hope He's just gonna do something to guide us.
That's right.
That's our hope.
Yep. Was it Ephesians 5?
Yeah.
15. See then that you walk circumspectly.
Yeah.
As wise and not as fools, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You know, wherefore be you not unwise. Wherefore be you not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. So this is all the will of the Lord, man. You know, we got to be circumspect, meaning to what? To look around. All right. We have to keep our eyes open, keep our heads on a swivel out here, because things are about to pop off. It's about to get worse. It ain't gonna get any easier, man.
Ain't getting better.
These plagues are likened unto a woman about to give birth. You know, like when them labor pains start kicking in, which earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, tariffs, price hikes, you name it. These are just nothing but plagues of Egypt. These are nothing but, you know, these labor pains. And the ultimate plague, right, is going to be the destruction. That's when that baby gets delivered. Yeah. You know, we're finally going to be released from this fucking oppression, this wicked ass system, man. Right? Like Apocalypse said in X-Men, no more systems.
Yeah, systems. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Because it's system, this is construct, man. Yeah. Which the Lord's allowed them to have. Lord allowed these elites to have, man. It's got to come to its end. You know? Anyway. Yeah, man. You know.
That's right. Well, that's it anyway. Hey, well, that's it, Arkim. You know, Lord willing. You know, this was an edifying lesson. You know, just a quick driving talk, brothers. Like, we were just reasoning.
The water, man.
You know, we were coming back into town. We were reasoning. We said, hey, we might as well just put the camera on. So, hey, Lord willing.
That's what everything we said. We were just talking about anyway.
That's right. That's right.
You know that. I swear, man. Whenever we're brothers meet, all we do is like we just reason about things and we complain about something. But that's the
Plenty to
spirit, bro.
complain
We're sighing and crying, bro. This is our lives.
Yeah,
All we
for
do
sure.
is reason and spiritual reasoning and complain about the system. For real.
Yeah, well, we're in that where that you know, that widow that kept complaining to the unjust judge. Avenge me of mine adversary. That's the spirit we're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
That woman represents the elect. You know, and eventually the unjust judge, he rose up and did something for that woman. That kept, lest her continual coming, she weary me.
It was annoying him.
Yeah, but so how much more just power? You know, so we gotta keep. The scripture says, "He that make mention of the Lord, give him no rest, till he establish and make Jerusalem a praise in the earth." So we're supposed to give the Lord no rest. We're constantly crying out to the Lord, man. So that's a beautiful thing. It's a good spirit to be in, man. So hey, man, yeah, we're going through some stuff, but guess what? It must needs be, because it keeps us, edgy in this kingdom. It makes you want the end of Babylon even
more,
quicker,
bro.
even more. You know, so it's necessary. You know.
Yeah.
But it's a light affliction. So, but yeah, that's
Bless,
pretty
man.
much it. Lord, when it was edifying, we're gonna give all praises to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and shalom to the hopeful elect, man. Shalom, Akim. Shalom.